The meditation technique the speaker will share with you today is Vipassana. Vipassana meditation is among the oldest techniques. The story goes that Schiva taught 108 meditation techniques. Among these we find Vipassana. Later, Gautama the Buddha spread Vipassana to the masses. Until then, this technique had always been reserved for a small cycle of people. Gautama the Buddha brought many changes to the Hindu world. Gautama the Buddha was born, lived, died as a Hindu. He was never heard of Buddhism and certainly was not part of it. His disciples were Hindu. The various cities where he gave his speeches were Hindu. Gautama did not want to convert anyone to a new religion, but he wanted to free the Hindus from their conditioning. The main changes that Gautama taught the Indians are the which belief in God, understood as the one who created existence, the absence of the soul, and the spread of the Vipassana technique to the masses. Gautama also used to give the novitiate to young people, thing completely contrary to the Hindu tradition. Traditionally, in Hinduism, a person took the novitiate in the later part of his life and not in the first. Buddhists make two mistakes, which the speaker cannot forget. The first is to call Gautama Buddha. In the Indian tradition, Buddha means one who has attained enlightenment. This term does not belong to any particular person or religion. Here lies the beauty of it. But unfortunately, Buddhists have appropriated it. So, when we speak of Buddha, we generally mean Gautama, who is recognized as the founder of Buddhism. This is a mistake, because Jesus was also Buddha, Mai Baba was a Buddha, Jiddu Krishnamurti was a Buddha, Bhagwan Sri Rainis was a Buddha, etc. So, Buddhists make a mistake that makes them seem very orthodox and completely contrary to the Gautama's philosophy. The second mistake is to spread the idea that Gautama the Buddha is the inventor of Vipassana. Gautama, born with the name of Siddhartha, was born 500 years before Jesus. Vipassana is a much older technique. This technique is old as man is. This premise just to underline a few things, like that you do not have to belong to any religion or organization to practice Vipassana, much less to become a Buddha. You don't have to be a Buddhist. The truth is, if you belong to any religion or organization, becoming a Buddha is not really possible. To become a Buddha, you will have to be completely alone. A loneliness so deep that you won't even have mental talk to keep you company. In reality, a person is alone exclusively in the absence of thought. As long as you have the thought of keeping you company, you will not be truly alone. Vipassana is a very simple technique which consists of sitting down and observing your breathing. Breathing has to be natural and you just have to observe it. That is it. You don't have to do anything else. You will sit and watch your breath with your eyes closed. The speaker will share with you everything he knows about his meditation and all his experience. But everything he says will be a little of no use. He does this only to prepare you for the experience you will have, so that you are not too lonely, to encourage you a little, so that you are not completely groping in the dark. Before you sit down to practice Vipassana, you must have a life that is not repressed in any aspect. This means that your sex drive needs to be regular, balanced. Do not indulge in sex or even repress it. Having the right nutrition so that the body is nourished with natural and vegetarian food. You don't have to be underweight or overweight. You must have your social life, that is, friends and girlfriend, to have fun with, but you must also live in solitude and be happy to be alone. Better if you don't use drugs, both street drugs or pharmaceutical drugs. But if you do, it is better that you use only natural, non-chemical drugs. If you use any drugs, you cannot start Vipassana. First, you have to get rid of the use of drugs, and in this cathartic meditation can be of great help. Why? If you are addicted to drugs, it is necessary to go to therapeutic groups that are done in meditation centers. There is a difference between using drugs and being addicted to them. So, starting with Vipassana requires having a stable mind and a balanced life, a natural life. It is also necessary to practice this technique in a place where the air we breathe is not polluted. If we breathe polluted air, our breathing will become very shallow, and this will cause our meditation to become just as shallow. When you breathe polluted air, the body, to protect himself, makes sure that the inhalation takes place only in the upper part of the lung, and that the respiratory rate increases in speed, so that the polluted air remains as little as possible inside the body. You should also avoid being at too high an elevation. If you are in the high mountains, at an elevation greater than 2,500 meters, the oxygen present in the area is at a lower atmospheric pressure, so you will need to inhale much more air than you are used to. This makes breathing irregular. Vipassana is about observing a natural breath. To have a natural breath, you have to live a natural life, both physically and mentally. If sex is repressed, this will ensure that when you breathe, the air you breathe won't go deep inside you, because the moment it does, the area will get closer to the sex center and stimulate it. This repressed mind will do everything possible to avoid it. So if sex is repressed, breathing is repressed too. That means the breathing becomes superficial. Before starting Vipassana, one must get rid of the violence present in oneself. If violence is present in us when we sit and meditate, we will begin to be violent to ourselves. Normally, we take out our violence outside, toward others. On the other hand, those who begin to practice Vipassana while still being violent, this violence is unleashed on themselves. It can be vented on one's body or on one's mind. This is very dangerous. There are monks or people who practice Vipassana who keep inflict pain to their body or mind. The body is forced to hold the same position for hours and hours, or not to eat for days and days. The mind is forced to focus its concentration on a single object for hours and hours, without any mercy and compassion. These people or monks vent their violence by becoming masochists. What is even worse is that there are people who adhere this constant infliction pain of the mind. When there are monks who sit on the stones for hours and hours without moving or without eating for days and days, they are revered by his followers. So the monk is a masochist, that is, he likes to twist himself, while his followers suffer from sadism, that is, they feel pleasure when others suffer. To be continued. Thank you for listening.